pool liner ripped around the main drain after closing a pool. We had a company close our in-ground vinyl liner pool in September of 2021 for the season. When they came and opened the pool in March of 2022, after removing the cover, the pool had completely drained and there was a huge tear around the main drain. I believe the pool rapidly drained immediately after closing due to the sound of the water under the liner. I've tried every way to figure out why this happened. I do have a HRV in the main drain, hydrostatic relief valve. I believe possibly when the pool was being shut down for the season, that blowing the lines may have somehow opened this, allowing water to leak out. I have been told we do not need this hydrostatic relief valve in a vinyl liner pool. Is it possible the closing triggered it, creating this total loss of the liner? Do you recommend using one with a new liner? Our pool is 9 feet on the deep end. I would appreciate any help. We've been waiting since March to have a new liner installed, and apparently there is an issue getting the liner, at least that's what the pool repair person is telling us, and it's very frustrating. Thanks for your thoughts.
Okay, let me kind of dissect this one. The first wonder in this is after the pool is closed, you're saying that you heard water moving underneath. I'm not sure that I understand what that means, because I don't think I've ever heard in 35 years, I don't know that I could tell you without sonar equipment what a pool leaking sounds like. So I'm not sure what that is. The hydrostatic relief valve is not really needed in vinyl. I know sometimes in high water tables, people would put them in so that it would push water into the pool instead of floating the liner. The beauty of a vinyl liner pool is the surface can move, unlike a concrete pool where the whole pool has to move if there's too much pressure. So the hydrostatic valve is sort of redundant. Is it possible that when they blew the main drain that popped open? It's not very feasible. I'm not saying it's impossible, and I guess it depends on what they were trying to blow the main drain out with. But
Or did they experience a lot of rain that would have soaked the ground and put a pebble up in it that like stuck open?
I've certainly seen that in concrete pools over the years, where someone's pool is full and then drains empty overnight, and the hydrostat pops open, something gets stuck in it. So it's possible. It could be a combination of both, though, that as you lower the pool to be able to winterize and blow out your lines, you're now taking some of that pressure that pushes down on the ground. You're removing some of that, which might have allowed groundwater to move a little bit more under the pool, forcing that valve open, pushing a rock in place like you mentioned. I mean, that's certainly possible, because for every foot of water, every inch or two or a foot of water in there, it's helping hold that pool down. So, but to winterize, you have to remove some of that water. So there's a possibility.
It's possible the liner tore after whatever that
It's clearly
process
possible as well that when you winterize the pool, if there's a lot of ground pressure underneath, you drain some of that water out, water pushes in behind the liner could have floated. And when the liner floated, it could have torn. I've seen liners tear like that before. There's also a possibility, I mean, again, we're spitballing here, but there's always a chance that when they were closing the pool, if they vacuumed the pool or if they cleaned debris out or they could have snagged lost the net on the end of the pole and tore the liner. That one's a hard one to prove one way or the other. It's hard to, unless someone says, hey, look, I tore your liner. Pretty hard to prove that happened.
Debris in the bottom that got sharp edges and got
yeah, there's any number of things, and it could have been, like you said, sharp debris. They're leafing the pool out and something gets torn. So there's no real clear answer as to why. I would recommend with the new liner, though, once you get it, and understand the supply chain has been weird. depending on where they're ordering the liner from and depending on the color that you picked. What we've done is we've had our customers pick several acceptable patterns, because inevitably the one they want, they're not getting for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then it's taking 3 months for manufacture. So if you picked one that is going to be back in stock, but not till August 17th, well, then you can't expect that liner until the end of September. But so that's not totally, March to now maybe, but we waited a long time in the past few years for stuff, so that's not inconceivable. I would, however, recommend pulling out the hydrostat valve and putting a plug in the bottom. I think that's a huge piece of it. One of the other questions that I could have asked is how old was the liner that got damaged? Because there's lots of stuff. As a liner gets older, liners do some funny things, and I've got war stories of hundreds of different scenarios and things that have happened over the years. So I think all you can do at this point is move forward, get the new liner in. I would say get rid of the hydrostat valve. Just that eliminates one less problem that you might have, and then move on from there.